Super pretty house in Italy. Fano. Look only what gate. What gate, and upstairs vases with live flowers. And over there the balcony is amazing. Completely small garden 2-story. Think about such a house, think. I think write in the comments. What do we need such a house? No, what do you think? My little hiking sketchbook. And trained in it such stories. See modular structures. Behind landscaping. Here I was thinking what can be seats. Drew first here's something so slurred. Then began to create a composition of simple forms. Simple shapes behind. Turned out such a super simple rhythmic compositio. Then detailed them this way. Kept the same simple shapes. Clumsy little man for independence. But detailed already better. Turn out straight, quite normal seats, between which you can put mood drinks. And when he revealed such a modular structure, moved on to here's a sketch, and happily drew something more or less intelligible. This is Genesis. Here from here to here. Thus in practice sketching works. Take and develop thought, from a slurred situation to a more or less intelligible situatio. Lessons on such a simple schedule, like repost subscriptio. Well, I hope a normal summer Petersburg begins. I took my jacket and ride out on a monorail ride. Record in such wind mode. Interesting it will work out, or at least you can hear anything. Tower awesome. I wish in her to the studio to do that, it would be a delight. Snippets from my work sketchbook, of my travel sketchbook. Who was with me in Italy? And that's just training from Italy. See, ran to the beach and drew such a composition in a 2-point. In the morning before doing business. Drove to the beach drinking coffee. Bathed a little and painted. These are my simple pretty sketches. It's a simple 2-point perspective. Here's the vanishing point, from which all the lines in this picture diverge. If you understand how it works, you can draw in such a spectacular perspective. Somewhere on the beach in Italy with a cup of coffee, still a little wet getting out of the Mediterranean buzz, saying lessons on such schedule, like repost subscriptio. My name is Eduard Kichigin, but still ride on the bridge. See what kinds it is, damn. St. Petersburg. I ride a little on a monocycle, weather superb. I hope now it will not stop. Examples of simple project sketches from my sketchbook. Italian sketchbook and work practices in Italy. Look at this funny simple sketch. That's a small ferry raft. View area for recreation. She swims on the lake and moves through such a road, like a regular ferry. There are people sitting on it. Drink mood drinks. This was one of the concepts, which needed to be quickly visualized and understood. How can this be working? I made captions. That very slow moving steam. People enjoy views and brain takeaway. I think a very cool idea I came up with. You sail the lake on a small ferry. Sit under a tent bush. Enjoy the views from right to left, and gradually move from one shore to the other. That's such a micro sketch, that's such a micro concept. For this and needs sketching. For you to have your ideas. Could sketch like this simple and pretty way in such a small little project in a sketchbook, and a lesson on such a schedule in the description of the video and in the profile cap. Listen, and what do you think? How much can you buy a typewriter like John Wick? Used some. Can I put her, for example, in the floor llama? Or I'll have to sell the whole painting to buy a machine like John Wick's, and not super same. She is straight super like this, so she drove. Essentially, I want to saw content on her. Well, and drive a little. Although it can be a little bit turn into a little. Horseradish nose. What do you think? Yes, llama. Really buy a car like John Wick's. I love a small pretty city in Senegal. Italian city Senegalia. And there was a big picture left in Italy. See fragments of this city. Here are small snippets of his Google map. But in the Italian studio and Pesaro, these big paintings. Here are emotional drawing snippets. Small houses in Senegalia. Here are drier and more distinct views from above. That's a small castle there. That's a cool modern public space. This is how emotional my Italian graphics look. Here are more fragments of this public space. It looks like a horseshoe, and damn, they're very cool inside. More in the form above its fragments. And here's a little angle view. These are fragments of a picture about Senegal, who stayed in the studio in Italy. You can see it in my gallery of paintings, in the description under my every long video. Here is this link to it. Click, and find yourself on my plate and see those pictures, which are in Italy now. If you liked, write to my managers and become the owner of such a unique approach to graphics, which is not characteristic of artists, rather characteristic of designers, like repost subscriptio. OT an easy question. And here it is if you would like to buy there. Well, I want to buy a microphone. You would buy it in stores. Well, in big ones like that, DNS or their Bright World. Or, well, anything else in offline stores offline. Or would go to Ozone and order there. And that's something I'm sitting and I'm not very clear. Where is more reliable to order well? Normal microphone, the one I want. On Ozone, I think the percentage is higher. Well, that is there. What will they give me? Could be plastic fake, maybe original thingy, and all sorts of their, well, these big biased shops after all. Well, work with suppliers there. Well, they have no right to pound themselves. What do you think we're more reliable?